Yeah, lots to delve into tonight. And I know the big talking point, we've actually got a poll running on the football terrace. I'm going to get it up on our screen right now so that we can see it. For whether people thought Tomori should have been sent off, because I think in the Chelsea game, that kind of killed the contest.
Yeah.
Whether people think it was right or whether people think it was wrong, that kind of ended the game as a contest. What was your take on it? Did he deserve a red card in your opinion?
Well, at first, seeing it and watching it replayed and replayed and replayed, it did kind of feel like a soft foul, if that's what you want to call it. Like if that was outside of the box, it probably would have been a foul, but nothing more than that, maybe. Yeah. But then, when you look at the way that the law is, like the letter of the law, by that standard alone, it was a penalty and a red card, regardless of if we think you need to slide tackle somebody in the box and take their legs out to get the penalty. And so, of course, at first I'm just like, well, Mount stayed on his feet. It was a little tug back. Like it doesn't look like much. But yeah, by the letter of the law, it is a red card and a penalty. And it just is what it is. The rules are what they are.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a lot of people. I tweet like I always do when those decisions happened and ask for opinions. And most people said it was harsh. But from my point of view, I don't feel it was harsh at all. And again, I'm going to remain consistent here, as I do on all my streams when it comes to these decisions. My feeling was that it was a pull on the shoulder. That pull on the shoulder stopped Mason Mount from being able to get a clean attempt on goal. The only reason that we're debating it is because Mason Mount was honest. Mason Mount stayed on his feet. He didn't dive. He didn't simulate, exactly what we ask players to do. And then suddenly we moan that it's a harsh red card. So we either want players to dive, simulate, play act, and fall over, or we want them to be honest. And the referee, I thought, had a shocker for the majority of the game. The irony is, the one decision that he gets right seems to be the one that everybody's kicking off the most about. It was a foul, and I'm sick and tired of this. Well, it would be a foul outside the box, but not in the box. And when a player is through on goal, and they're denied a clear goal-scoring opportunity, if there was no attempt to play the ball, then it is 110% a red card. And we need to see more of that. We need to see more honesty from players like Mason Mount, not diving, not play acting, not rolling around like crying toddlers. That's it for me. I mean, and Tomori, listen, I'm someone that said he should have maybe started for England, been in the England squad, started for England over Maguire. I'm going to apologize for that opinion. I watched Tomori in these 2 games against Chelsea. The guy's a Serie A player. He's no Premier League player. The guy can play at that speed and that pace. Chelsea have utterly destroyed him. Not in 180 minutes. They destroyed him over what? 100 or so minutes. They ripped his defense from limb in the first leg. And in the second leg, the man gets sent off inside, 15, 16, 17 minutes. It's an abomination. And that's his World Cup dream over. I mean, he might go, but honestly, maybe I got pulled into the hype of everyone saying how well he was doing. I saw him playing a few games. The reports coming out of Italy about him were great. But in these 2 matches against one of the best teams in Europe, Chelsea, he's looked so average. He really, really has.
I feel like that might be a little bit harsh. He definitely didn't play well. We all know that. He was probably trying too hard to make a statement. I think he may have been a little bit in his head. He had a little speech that he put out there before this game. And I think, you can't really blame a young player that maybe felt like he was hard done by, maybe by Chelsea, and then coming to a game and kind of having that on his brain. You're somebody that's definitely backs Harry Maguire in terms of like, well, what he does for England is what he does for England. But, when he has his form for Manchester United, it's fine because it's different. If Tomori could perform for England, I don't think these games really matter in that. It's just he's not as established. So I'm not sure that this is any sort of indication of the type of player that he is. I think he's a young player that made mistakes in these games. But just because he didn't play well against Chelsea doesn't necessarily mean that he's not a good player or he's not at the level or did not achieve what people felt like he achieved over the last year or so.
Look, I understand that, and he can certainly get better. But people, and I said I got dragged into this as well, and maybe it was because of my frustration with Maguire, my frustration with the way England were playing. But we've been talking about him like he's Maldini, like he's Prime Yap Stam, like he's John Terry, like he's the Sol Campbell. Like that's how he's been spoken about. And tonight was his big test. Tonight he played against a team better than every single Serie A team. Last week he played against a team better than every single Serie A team, and he looked poor. Now you're absolutely right. That doesn't mean he shouldn't be in the England squad. He should definitely have been given some game time. But the way people have been talking that he is England's best centre back, these last 2 games have proven them to be absolutely wrong about that. He's not England's best centre back. Like he's been good for over there, but maybe he needs to test himself in a harder league, because if that's how he's going to perform against the best teams around, well, great. He'll be okay against the small European World Cup sides and international teams. But what's he going to do in the big games? I
mean, but how do the likes of Connor Cody and Mings and these guys perform against Chelsea on a regular basis? Well,
I don't think they're that good either. And that's a great argument, but that isn't what I'm saying. I'm not saying he shouldn't be in the squad. I said people have been talking about him like he's the best centre back we've got. He isn't. And the last 2 games to me I've said I did that. I'm having a go at myself here. He's been awful these last few games. He's really poor.
I don't know. I hear what you're saying. I guess I haven't been around the people that have been saying that he should be starting or he's the best. I know people that have been just advocating for him to be one of the 18 center backs that are in that team.
Again, and you're arguing with me. I just said he should be. I'm saying when people are talking about him like he's the best center back we've got, he isn't. I got hoodwinked. We all got hoodwinked. And the last 2 games have proven it, because he was shocking in both games. Distribution shocking, positioning shocking, tackling shocking, everything shocking. And tonight epitomized it. He deserved the red card. 100. And I know, look, Chelsea fans are going to back him because he's a Chelsea boy, Cobham boy. I understand it. And I didn't want to see him go through this, but he did. And he deserves criticism for it, like any other player. Would deserve to, because if it was anybody else tonight, they would be getting criticized. Tomori is not exempt from criticism as far as I'm concerned. This comment here says, Terry, I'm cool with the pen, but the red card, harsh, game over. Do you know what I'd say, Gio? I know you're a Milan fan, and you're very fair. This is my issue with it. You have to referee the games by the letter of the law. I'm not into this. It ruins I got it ruined the game. We literally, Jess, and Javerne sat here and were like, oh, that's it, game over. So as a spectacle, it was ruined, but I don't want referees changing the laws on the pitch to make it a better spectacle for everybody at home, because that's a slippery slope. That's a real slippery slope. Forget the penalty. I'm more worried about my legend, Reece James. If he is injured, doubters thought he wasn't making it out the groups. Who's laughing now? You know what, Barbar? You were bottom of the group this time last week. You're now top of the group and very, very likely to go through. And that's down to one man primarily, and that is Mr. Harry James Potter himself. He's doing bits. He's doing bits. Expelliarmus and all that. He's doing bits. Great group results for Chelsea today. The refs seemed to like reaching for his pocket today. Bring on Villa and Salzburg. Yeah, they're starting to look good, as Jess has already said. I totally agree. Is Tomori's challenge a foul? If it is, then by the letter of the law, it's a pen and denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity, which is a red. And it isn't even denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity. The law has been adjusted to make it even easier for people. If it was a slide tackle trying to win the ball, it's a yellow card, but there was no attempt to win the ball. And unfortunately for Tomori, he'll wake up tomorrow morning feeling really annoyed at himself for doing that.